How's it going out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse, and I am the curator for the Golden Age, and this is another...
Lost Heroes of the... What is going on here?
What are you talking about?
What did you do to the border effect?
You mean the sparkling?
Yeah.
It's to set the mood for the hero that we're going to review.
We have literally never done anything like that.
We set the mood when we did the unknown. Remember the black and the flashlight?
I am getting too old for this.
Fine, I'll take it down. I was doing it because of the hero that we're doing.
Do I want to know?
Is the sparkler. It's not that funny.
Yes, it is.
Anyways, yes, we are doing a unusual character. This one is the sparkler. I don't quite understand the science behind it's technologically based superpowers. I don't understand the science behind the tech, and it seems completely ludicrous. And it's not the first time that somebody's gone invisible before. That's what the technology does. It allows you to become invisible. You'll see when we go over this how it's theoretically supposed to work, but in other situations, I can stretch my disbelief to sort of buy in to what they have done to create the powers in some way, like with the invisibility. But this one, I'm really, really finding it hard to buy into this. I mean, maybe the logic makes sense. Maybe someone else thinks, oh, hey, that's brilliant. But as far as I see it, I really don't like the logic behind it. And then what makes him the sparkler, I also think is equally as ridiculous. So let's go over and review this character, and then you can give your judgment on whether you think that the scientific knowledge that is behind the orchestration of this superhero sounds logical or not. I mean, obviously, we're not using the technology today, so there are a lot of flaws behind the method, but you can go ahead and give it a look for yourself and then see what you think. So let's go ahead and gear up for the sparkler. The Sparkler, Red Morgan, first appeared in Super Spy Comics number 1 in 1940. The original publisher is Centaur. Created by Unknown. Now, we'll get into his name in a moment, but the Sparkler had 4 appearances. The only 2 issues of Super Spy and the only 2 issues of Wham Comics. Now, despite having 4 appearances, I was only able to find 3. And the reason why is because I cannot find his appearance in Super Spy number 2 because I cannot find a complete issue of it. I've searched many sites, and the most pages I can find is one with 57 of the 64 pages. The Sparkler is the last story, and I cannot find a comic book that goes far enough into it to show me all of the pages. So I cannot read his second story in Super Spy number 2. Now, the Sparkler, it's not a simple superhero because he has a power. What he does is he has a suit that allows him to go invisible. Now, what this does is this suit shuts off like the rays of light that are coming to him, so he is not on the visible spectrum, which allows him to become invisible. Now, it is important to know that the light is breaking when it comes to him because of what happens when he reappears. When he turns the suit off, the light rays come back to him, and with the light rays being reconnected, causes the suit to sparkle for several minutes. And it is completely ridiculous. I don't I don't understand the science of the invisibility, but breaking the light rays and having them reconnected doesn't even sound. It sounds ridiculous. He is not the only superhero to be able to become invisible. Well, even before the 1940s, and even at this time, I covered another hero that goes invisible. Has nothing to do with light rays. So his suit causing the breaking in the light rays and then turning off the suit allows them to reconnect where he sparkles. Sounds completely silly to me. Now, in his last appearance, which is Wham Comics #2, it does say that he has continuing adventures, which he does not, because there is no more Wham, and there's no more of him after that. His first appearance, he seeks revenge for his father, and in his other two appearances, he stops a mob war that... The mob war ended up killing a little girl, and that's actually why he got involved, which was really weird because children really didn't die. I mean, even if children did die in the Golden Age, they didn't show the depiction of it. But here in this picture, you can actually see that they're talking about how the little girl throws up her hands and falls to the ground. She was shot by a drive-by, basically. And in his last appearance, he goes on a mission to try and stop diamond smugglers, but it seems like halfway through the issue, they went in a different direction, and then they finish it, and we find out who the head of the diamond smugglers is, but the diamond smuggler only seems to be partly connected to the... It's like the story halfway through decided it didn't like the storyline and picked up another story. It's not very long anyways, but... that's why he's called the Sparkler. Now, in Super Spy, the suit is kind of purple with red trimmings on it. And in the Wham comics, the suit is blue, and one of the red trimmings with the suit being purple is blue, but his belt and gun... they appear to be brown. I don't understand the trimmings. Now, in the Wham comics, the Sparkler is not unknown to people. They know who he is and they know what his powers are. But despite them knowing that, they can't find him. He's invisible. He has shot criminals and orchestrated criminals to kill themselves. He even shot a guard dog. You horrible person, you shot a dog. The dog was attacking him. What was he supposed to do? And it's also kind of funny, in the last two of his appearances, there are women that enter in the story and they call him strikingly handsome. So I thought that was kind of funny. But he mostly fought people, knocked them out, threw them around. He apparently is an expert combatant. He doesn't get taken by surprise. He doesn't get knocked out and captured like a lot of heroes tended to do around that era. But he didn't seem to face much challenges. As soon as he knew where the culprits were, he was unchallenged. Of course, he can go invisible. There wasn't really much of a challenge to be presented before him. He had a little bit of confliction in his last appearance with a plane that he apparently owned, but he still ended up coming out on top with, very little standing in his way. So that's a brief rundown of the Sparkler. We're going to go ahead and cover his first appearance so you can see where they're going. And maybe we could find a idea of where they were going to go in the second issue that I can't seem to find anywhere. And if anybody could find a full issue of Super Spy #2, that would be great. because I'd actually love to read the final story just so I could see where they were going with it. So let's go ahead and cover his first appearance / origin story. Okay, I'm just going to read the opener in on his 2 appearances in Wham Comics. Red Morgan, the Sparkler, when dressed in his suit of light-resisting materials, is able to vanish completely. When he becomes visible, sparks leap about his body for several minutes. This is caused by the light rays that have been broken coming together. Dressed in a suit of light-resisting materials in which he is able to vanish completely, Red Morgan pits his strength and wisdom against the underworld with light rays which come together when he becomes visible, cause sparks, hence the name The Sparkler. Oh, we do actually have a created by credit under here by John F. Kolb, Kolb. I think that name sounds familiar to me. Anyways, those are the read-ins. The Sparkler. I don't know. This is in his very first appearance. It says John F. Kolb. I have no idea why the fan site said that there was nobody credited with this. His name is right there. Alright, we open up in a laboratory. Red, come here. Yes, Dad, what is it? Give me that box over there, will you? Yeah, Red looks awful stilted. I know, we're looking at drawings, but his dad looks a lot more fluid. He looks very stilted. Okay, he says that the box is containing the secret of the new suit that he invented. The government is interested in it, but since I have first spoken of it, I feel I am being watched. That is very on the nose. So he says that he feels that somebody is after the secrets because it's something that he invented and the government wants it. He still looks so stilted. Then your life is in danger, Dad. You should have told me before. No, son, I didn't want you mixed up in this if I can't help it. But I have to tell you, their words are stilted too. Okay. We get a little more fluidity after the first page. So he says that, let's see, he's talking about how the suit works, and he's kept the formula. Now, obviously, the suit's not fitting in the box, but the formula for creating the suit is inside the box. Why, Dad, that's marvelous. I knew you were working on something big, but an invisible man? Nobody has been able to do that before. Obviously, you've never read the horror comics from the Invisible Man story is not a new concept. Okay. Yeah, I'm guessing in their world, the Invisible Man story has never been written. That's right, Red, but I was just lucky. The secret is in the fabric of the suit and light-destroying powers it holds. I think you should use the light-destroying powers instead of just making something invisible. Okay. So we go into later that night, and he hears a sound, just as Red oh. Yeah, it doesn't say later that night, but, I mean, he's obviously transitioned himself outside the lab. Just as Red reached the top of the stairs, a shot rang out. Dad, what is it? It's obviously a gunshot. So he walks in, and he sees his dad lying on the floor, and he looks like he's dying, but as we've realized in the Golden Age, you can get an amazing amount of exposition out while you're dying. And we've seen that before. Your deathbed is just a way to get another 5 minutes of exposition out. Out the window, son. I'm alright. They stole the box. Get it, hurry. You're gonna die. How are you saying you're alright? Now we see Red halfway out the window. I know this seems supposed to be serious, but this actually made me laugh. Okay. So Red hurries up and gets into his car, and he's following the pursuer, and this scene looks very much like a cartoon. There's no background. There's 2 vehicles. It looks like something out of a Looney Tunes cartoon with the way these two guys are chasing each other. And then we get arrows. If you've watched my videos, you know my absolute disdain over arrows. If you gonna need arrows. You failed in your storytelling. If you need people to follow it in a certain way, make your panels conducive to the way the story needs to flow. This is ridiculous. And I'm not an idiot. I can tell that I need to jump from the smaller box to the bigger to the smaller. But when boxes are shaped up evenly like this, that's not how it goes. The two smaller boxes lead into the bigger box. And another smaller arrow, as if I didn't know I needed to go down to this scene. Okay, so he sees that the car is on fire and claims that he needs to get the box. And he moves the man out of the car and starts to talk to him. Say, I know you. You're one of Bodley Shade's mob. Now, how do you know one of the henchmen? What's the idea? Where is the box? I'm done for. Another man dying, getting on exposition. Badly. He knew your father, or badly. He knew your father was inventing something big. I was sent to get it. And the box does actually, or where's the box you stole? It's in the burning car. Well, of course it is. You just said. You said that you knew the box was in the car. And then you're asking the guy, where is the box? Of course, it burns up in there. So, yes, the car burns. Red hurries back to the house. I got him, Dad, but the box is burned. That's all right, son. I'm leaving you. I feel so weary. Goodbye. So... All right, so you died because of the gunshot, but you told him that you were all right when he leaps out the window. Okay, so he vows that he's going to take revenge, and he puts on the suit. Dad, your suit will come in handy now to get me in to see Bodley Shape, to revenge your death. So, I mean, you did it right this way. The large panel leads into the two smaller ones. You didn't need arrows. And there's no more arrows anywhere in this story. I absolutely hate arrows. Okay, so he stops out in front of the house. Are there no guards? This guy's a mobster. He's got no guards outside of his house. You're standing outside of your house next to your car with your lights blazing. You're not invisible yet, and there's nobody there stopping you. How does he not have any guards on his house? I mean, even if you weren't waiting for someone to come and see you, you should have guards. I mean, I'm pretty sure mobsters usually have people to protect them. Okay. Oh, who pushed me? Did you hear that? I can't see anybody. And I always love the way invisible people move through comic books. It's hilarious. The door of Badly Shade's office swings open. Who is that? What is this? Okay, so he's talking to him, and I guess he's trying to be like a ghost. What is this? Where are you? I don't see anything. You can't scare me. As he gets closer, he turns the suit off, and because the suit is off, it's sparkling. When he presses the button for visibility, sparks. Yes, I didn't read this part before. When he pressed the button for visibility, sparks caused by the light. Well, that's a weird way that you put your sentence. Caused by the light rays coming together, dance about his body, making him look like a 4th of July sparkler. Hence the name Sparkler. No, you're not human. Get away from me. Stay away. I told you your time had come. Now you die. The sparks die out in just a few minutes. Let's see. So Badly is so scared of the sparkler, and he leaps out the window. Let's see. Plunged to his death out the window. So apparently they're up high enough that he jumps out the window and kills himself. Okay, so all the men come into the office. He has to fight his way out. He beats them all, because apparently, unbeknownst to us, he's an expert combatantist. That takes care of you. Guess I'll leave now that the job is done. I mean, he could have turned invisible to fight them, but he's obviously an expert fighter. Okay, again, invisible. He walked out to the car and drove off. Why are you still invisible while driving? I better make myself visible again. The cops might pick up the car as driverless. Yeah, I don't think they had driverless cars back then. Alright, this is only the beginning. The Sparkler has just started. Now, they don't actually say in the next issue. The last appearance of his last issue, they do, but it's only the beginning. The Sparkler has just started. And for Golden Age comics, we all know that means next issue. I hope you enjoyed this hero. I hope the premise wasn't too ridiculous. And we do have another character from Centaur coming up. Now, I'm not setting this up as a Centaur month. This wasn't intentional. I was just going through some Centaur characters and found some people that I wanted to review. Centaur is weird. They have limited characters. Sometimes they have more characters that have been around for a while. It's just a strange collection at an unusual time, the Golden Age. And if you stick around the Golden Age, you've seen the unusualness. But like I said, I do have another Centaur hero coming up. So until next time, I'll be seeing you.